Best morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mary Lavyah MHEYR. For today's tutorial, I will be teaching you on how to create Google Forms in Gmail. But what are Google Forms? Google Forms are easy survey administration apps that are included in the Google Drive Office suite, along with Google Docs, Google Sheets, and Google Slides, which I assume you're already familiar of because you've been using their Microsoft Office counterparts. Specifically, Google Docs are just like Word documents, Google Sheets are just like Excel files, and Google Slides are just like PowerPoint presentations. Google Forms are web-based apps that are used to create forms for data collection purposes. Once done, they can be shared with respondents by sending a link, emailing a message, or embedding into a web page or blog post. Another thing about Google Form is that it allows you to create conveniently pre-registration form, student directory, contact form, checkout page, online survey, online evaluation, or anything that improves your productivity with respect to data gathering. Also, with Google Forms, you can ask either open-ended question or closed-ended question. For instance, if you're going to ask an open-ended question, you can use the features paragraph text or short text. And if you're going to ask closed-ended questions, then you can use multiple choice or checkbox. You can also use scale, grid, and indicate time and date. So these are the easy steps in making Google Forms. Note that it only takes a few minutes to make one. Before we proceed with the demo, let me first read to you the 8 steps in creating Google Forms. Step 1. Log into your Gmail account. Step 2. Click Google Apps. Step 3. Click blank or choose a template. Step 4. Click Untitled Form to edit. Step 5. Click Settings. Step 6. Start typing your questions. Step 7. Click Preview, then copy link. And then Step 8. Create a short link. May I request that you take a photo of this slide so that you will be able to glance on it later on as we proceed with our demo. And also, please prepare your laptop and internet for the next steps. It's demo time! All right. So as you can see, I'm already in my browser. So as for you, you need to log into your Gmail account. And since we are doing this for DepEd and we are already given our DepEd email, then we will use that one for this tutorial. So for me, I'm already logged into my DepEd email account. So I will proceed now. Let me first close these. All right. So let's proceed to step 2. Click Google Apps. So you will know what that is if you can find 9 dots that are stacked like a grid. And when you hover on that, it will appear Google Apps. So if you found that already, please click on that. And then you will see other apps, productivity tools, other than the Google Forms. So look for the purple paper, and then under it is the word form, so that's the Google Form. Click on that, and then it will redirect you to the user interface for Google Forms. And then let's proceed to step 3. Click blank, so the one with the colorful plus sign. But if you have already templates with you, you can simply go to template gallery. But for the purpose of this tutorial, we will start with a blank page. So let's click on that. And then once you're already in the blank Google form, then look for the word untitled form, this one. And then edit that one too. What's the name of your Google form? So let's take this one as an example. So work from home assessment for DepEd employees. All right. So notice that when you change that, it also have changes here. All right. So, and you know that your changes already saved. If you read this one, all changes saved in Drive. All right. So you also have the option to include a description of what your Google form is about. So say this is an online assessment of the work from home scheme for DepEd City employees. You can do anything with that. This is just a sample anyways. So after that one, let's click settings. Look for a wrench symbol on your browser. It's usually just aside the word send. So click on that, and then all the setting options will appear. For instance, you can restrict to users in Department of Education and its trusted organizations. This will appear because I am using a DepEd email in creating a Google form. And then you can also click limit to 1 response. That means the respondents will be required to sign into Google. Or if you unclick that one, with just one link, a lot of respondents can already have access and answer your survey. So for example, it's a survey. So if you don't want to restrict this form to only DepEd employees, then uncheck that one. So if, for example, you will be using this one to create quizzes for your learners, then remember to always uncheck that one. But you can click this one, collect email addresses, so that you can determine who among your students have already answered it. Right? And then this one, respondents can edit after submit. This is, for instance, I'm a respondent and then I'm done answering the survey. And then after a few minutes, I would want to change some of my answers. Then if this is allowed by the creator, then I can edit my answers. Also, you can choose to show them the summary charts and text responses, but I don't usually do that. So yeah, let's leave that there. Presentation. this one, show progress bar, that's for you. Shuffle question order, so this one could be helpful in making quizzes. And then show link to submit another response. So this, because I did not click this one here, limit to one response. So in the presentation, it will appear show link to submit another response. And you also have an option to write confirmation message. So for example, thank you for taking time and answering this survey. Okay, so you just click save. And then if you want to change the color scheme, then you can change it. For me, for instance, I love pink, so I'm gonna change that to pink. But if you have already made an image that you can use as a header, then you can click here, choose image, and then upload. Right, so if you save that image already in your computer, then you can browse it. But if you do not have but still wanted header, then another good thing about Google Forms is that it has a separate category for work in school. So this is very helpful for teachers or anyone working in DepEd. So since I'm talking about work from home, then I can like use this one. And then insert. And once uploaded, it will automatically change the user interface. Yeah. But if you still want to use the pink for your theme color, then you can do so. Just click on the pink one, and then it will appear like that. And then, if you're done, you can change the font style just in case you want it cursive, or you want a formal one, or you want a playful one. It all depends on you. When you're done, just click the X button, and there we go. You're ready to proceed to step 6, which is start typing your question. So, for instance, if you want to have a sex disaggregated data, then the first thing to write is sex. So, as you can see, it automatically gave you suggestions. So you can add all and just delete this one after. And of course, there's no other because there are just 2 sexes. And then if you don't want your respondents to skip that, then just click required. Next is to add another question. Say, for example, this one. We need a short link because, or no. Just use a paragraph. So for instance, you can ask, what are your reflections during the COVID-19 scare? So since you chose here paragraph, then the respondents will be able to answer a long one here. And then again, click required if you don't want people to skip that. And then what else? Let's try this one. Here. Are you okay with working from home? So you can add that one. And just use multiple choice because they cannot answer yes, no, and maybe all at the same time. And of course, required again. That's for multiple choice. But if you want this one, this checkbox, say, what are the things you used while working from home? So, since it's a checkbox, your respondents will be able to answer more than one. So, for example, laptop, internet, aircon, computer, tablet. Or if you don't want to exhaust yourself writing all the possible answers, you can just add other, and you will see later how it will appear on your form. So click required. So for instance, you're done with all your questions. So let's click preview, the one with an eye icon right there, and then it will redirect you to how your form is being perceived by the respondents. There. So if you want to As you can see, there is a word required there, so it's an asterisk. So that means your respondents cannot skip answering what's their sex, or what are their reflections, or are they okay with working from home? Say yes. And notice that that's a multiple choice question. This one is a checkbox. So what are the things you used while the working from home? So you can check laptop, internet, aircon, computer, tablet, and of course others. For instance, you miss printer. Yeah. And then click submit. So here you can, since we've checked these features in our settings, so edit your response, the respondents can edit their answers, or they can submit another response. Say, for example, they have a friend who also need to answer the same survey, then they can just give their cell phone and let that person answer using the same phone. All right, so we are done answering the response, and as you can see there, it automatically records the response. That's another advantage of using Google Forms. And if you want your responses to be summarized in a spreadsheet or Excel file, then you can do so by clicking this one, the green symbol right there. All right, so let's go back to questions and then click again preview. And then this is the one that you need to copy and send to your respondents. However, that is sort of complicated to look at. So let's proceed to step 8, create a short link. So there are many ways to create a short link, but as for me, I use TinyURL for convenience. But for DepEd, you can also use deped.in. So what you're going to do is just paste what you've copied and then create a customized name for your link. Say, for example, BCD assess work from home. And after creating a custom alias, then click make TinyURL. You will know if your custom alias is available or not because the TinyURL will say so. If it's successful, the TinyURL will say TinyURL was created. So instead of sending this very long and complicated link to your respondents, you can simply highlight that one and then right click, click copy. Or you can simply click copy to clipboard. All right? You can try that one by opening a new window, for instance. Let's see if it is successful. All right. See? It's just the same. So that is all for creating Google Forms in Gmail. We've just finished our demo. If you have questions or suggestions for another tutorial, just comment down below. Always remember that when you need to gather data, a Google form is your best friend. This has been Marily's MHEYR. I hope you learned something and thank you for listening. Enjoy applying what you have just learned.